I love it. I love this photo, and let me tell you why. Every time people would see us together, me and my wife walking together, and they knew she was pregnant, random people would walk up to us and go, "Hey, May, what you think it's gonna look like? What's the baby gonna look like?" I was like, "I don't know, you mix up too much stuff, it could go wrong, you know?" Like a unicorn frappuccino or something. Fellas, if you're gonna have a baby, be in the emergency room, watch the whole process. It's the most beautiful thing you will ever see in your life. Your wife give birth, you know? It's just so magical. And women are so much stronger than men. And that's what you find out. That's what you find out. The baby comes out. It's a boy. We name him Oliver after my dad. Yeah. He's crying, he's crying, he's crying. He won't stop crying. My wife is trying to get him to stop crying. So I said I needed to do something. So I took this finger and put it by his hand. And he grabbed it and stopped crying. And I started crying. Here's what's crazy about this photo. I knew as soon as he grabbed my finger, I would die for him. I would die for my son. I don't even know anything about it, but I would die for my son. My wife had to work for that. You get it, right? Like, nobody dies for someone on the first date. Ladies, let me tell you something. If a dude says on the first date, "I would die for you," you better run. Because that dude is gonna kill you. You know what I mean?
How full on is labor? Whoa! There's a guy up there going, is she gonna tell her birth story? Yep, so. I'm one of those people who was lucky, very, very lucky, that when I had both of my children, I managed to have them in the bath without any drugs at all, okay? Because I'm a hero. No, that just happens to be my experience. I don't care how you have your kids. Pull them out in here for all I care. Seriously. Or even if you don't have or don't want to have kids, also fine with me. That just happens to be my experience, okay? But what I find interesting is, by all accounts, doing it that way is natural. Yeah. Being split from to breakfast and feeling all of it, natural. Yeah, the most natural thing you will ever do, love. It's what the woman's body was built to do. It's why the woman is here, because that is natural. And I'm like, oh, is it though? Is it? Because I think if that is the most natural thing I will ever do, then everything else I do in my day should dislocate my hips and make my explode. Hello, can I please have a soy flat white? Oh, I slipped on that. And I will not clean it up, it is natural. Well, get some extra stuff on Starbucks, I am not touching it. When my husband and I decided to have kids, well, that never happened. When we were shocked to shit both times to find out I was pregnant. Yeah. One thing we did decide on was to do calm birth. And with calm birth, you get to work with midwives. And I love midwives. And our midwife's name was Susan. And Susan was so excited to be a part of the natural birthing process. From the mama bear through the annals of the life and the history of the world, coming in through the water of the oceans, into the arms of the cub, into the mama bear lioness. What a dream this natural progression is. Everything the light touches is legs are tree trunks, the guttural experience of mother to child, crystals in orifices that no one can pronounce. Let's go into it. The moon is in the sky because you have a cervix. And I was like, sorry, Susan, is it? Yeah, hi. I'm about to vag shit a baby out of me. So if you could rein that the f***, that would be great. So after about 8 hours of me going, oh, this is a massive mistake. Everyone pack up your shit, we're going home. Susan going, And my husband just in the corner, confused.
From the minute your child is born, it changes your life, and you see your wife in a different light, man. I saw my baby born, and let me tell you something. What? I almost didn't make it. I was working the day my child was born, but thank God I was able to make it. And I'm not an asshole, okay? He came 2.5 weeks early. My wife, I'm working at the MGM Grand. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm performing with a comedian named Brad Garrett. You guys know who that is? Yeah. Everybody loves Raymond, right? Brad and I, over the years, have become friends. We work together in Vegas. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, everything is fine. I'm checking in with my wife. Thursday, right before I walk on stage, my wife calls me. She says, you need to come home. We're having a baby. I ran over to Mr. Brad Garrett. I said, Brad, I have to go, man. We're having a baby. And Brad Garrett goes, of course you are. You're Mexican. I go, you don't have to pay me for the days I'm not going to work. You're Jewish. And that's how friends treat each other. And I'll be honest with you, man, I can't wait to go back to a time in this country when we can all talk like that to each other. And at the end of the day, we're all Americans. He was very nice, Mr. Brad Garrett. He wrote me a check for the entire week. Then he wrote me another check and he put it in an envelope and he wrote baby on it. Yeah, he goes, that's for your baby. I said, thank you, Brad. I got to my wife at 3 o'clock in the morning. She was in labor, continued to be in labor for 26 more hours. I'm with you. I could have done the show. She wanted to have a natural childbirth. Don't do those. Every few minutes she'd hulk out at me, I'm gonna punch you in your face. I'm like, there's a man in there. At one point, she called me to her like the devil herself. She goes, come here, motherfucker. The nurse goes, she's talking to you. So I put my piece of pizza down. Let me tell you something, people. You do not know the physical strength of your wife until you meet her in labor. And she grabs your titty with the strength of 15 gorillas and shakes you. Finally, the doctor lady pulls me outside. She goes, we need to do something. I said, we? I go, I don't work here, lady. I'm scared. I came in here with a woman. There's a man in it. I go, look at my tit. She goes, we recommend an epidural. I said, we recommend an exorcism. Look, I don't know what epidurals are. And a lot of you fellas know this. They don't let you in there to see the epidural. They asked me to leave. That's weird to me, because I can watch my child come out, but I can't watch you do an epidural? What's an epidural? I don't think it's medicine at all, people. I think 3 priests come in the room. We had our baby. One of the best days of my life. My wife and I sat there together. My wife says, how did it go with Brad Garrett? I go, went great, he paid us. My wife goes, oh my God, that was nice. I go, yeah, it was real nice. I said, he gave us another check. I opened up the envelope, $25,000. I told my wife, I said, we can't keep this. She goes, oh, yeah, we can. She says, I'm a Virgo, and we're the keeper of all things money.
So I'm in the bath, I'm on all fours, and I know it's close because I got that feeling. Ladies, you know that feeling you get when you're like, oh my God. oh, I'm gonna die here. Yeah. Oh, this is where I'm gonna die. Or, at very least, flip the fuck inside out so all the insides become my outsides and everyone's confused. And Susan was onto it too. She came over, well, she put down her flute. She came over and she said, okay, my mama bear. Okay, my lioness. It is time for us to meet your cub. I want you to push into your bottom. Push into your bottom. Now remember, I'm in this bath, completely naked. I turn around and Susan is also completely fucking naked. Push into your bottom. And if you feel the need to poo, I don't want you to worry because I have brought a poop scoop. Now, remember, this bitch is completely naked, and at no point during this entire exercise do I ever remember her coming into that room with any form of fucking toolkit, so I've got no idea where this poop scoop has come from. My body is facing this way, my head turned 180 degrees to face her, and I went, Susan, I don't care if I shit on your face, put some fucking pants on. There are two things they do not tell you when you have your children naturally. The first thing is, when your baby's head comes tearing out of you, it feels like a Johnny Cash song. It is a burning ring of fire. Yeah? Yep. And the second thing is, the only way to describe what the rest of your child coming out of you feels like is... Is anyone pregnant? Hi, babes. Oh my God, hi, babes. Hi. Listen, these are just jokes. I am just telling jokes up here. I'm shooting a fucking special. It's just jokes, seriously. And to be completely honest with you, if you eat a fully organic diet, you'll probably have an orgasm when you have your baby.
Everybody says, oh, I'm so happy to be here. And you can't blame them. You can't blame them. I mean, you can't walk on a stage and go, oh, not this dump again. That gets awkward. Even if you're thinking it, which I'm not. No, I'm very happy to be here. I know what you're thinking, Craig, how can we trust you? How can we trust you? We've been hurt before. Here's how you know I'm genuinely happy to be here. About 2 years ago, a little less, my wife had a baby. Thanks, everybody. I had sex. Yeah, so there's a little baby. There's a baby living in my house, an actual living baby in my house. So you know I am happy to be here. This whole idea of doing a special and stand-up comedy show is just so I can get a night's sleep. That's all it is. I just want a night in a hotel, some room service and some porn. That's all I want. Something delicious and then room service. Don't worry, I'm not just here to get away from my children. Of course, I've got a joke for you. I've got a joke. Don't worry, I'm sure I do. I do. I have a joke. A joke for you, told to me by my friend Drew Carey when he was fat. That's important. When he was fat and funny, not this thin Drew Carey, not this thin Norval Rickenbacker motherfucker that he is now. Fat Drew Carey, fat when he was funny, because fat is where comedy is stored. That's why I tell anybody that sees me naked, I'm like, what are you talking about? This is my jokes. This is, there's titters, there's a couple of titters here, people tittering, there's and there's my big finish here. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I'm not just here to get away from my children. I'm not. I love my children. Of course I do. They're beautiful, whatever their names are. They're gorgeous. No, they are. I love my kids. I do. And I adore them. I was right there when they were born. I was right there when they were conceived. I think. You can't be sure. One of them's Asian. That's not true. That would be awkward though, wouldn't it? Like, congratulations, Mr. Ferguson. Look, an Asian baby. No, I was definitely, there. I don't know if I was there when they were conceived, because, conception takes place up to 24 hours later after sex, in the woman's body. So I might have been doing what I do after sex, which is standing by the refrigerator crying. I'm a dirty whore. But anyway, I was definitely in the room when my kids were born. I was right there in the room. I watched that baby come flying out, and then that other thing come flying out after the baby. I'm like, what the f*** is that? What's that thing? They're like, don't worry about that. I mean, don't worry about it. It's the same size as a baby. What the f*** is it? Like, what is it? I've only budgeted for one. Does that go to college? What is that thing? What is it? The kit? What is it? Like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I am worried about it. They're like, no. And the doctors and nurses going, oh, isn't it so beautiful? Isn't this such a beautiful experience? I'm like, it's all right for you to talk like that. You're only here for the day. I've got to come back to this area later on with a completely different agenda.